You know that guy Josh?
Yeah.
It's not getting any better with him.
Really?
I don't exactly know what it is. It's not like he's doing anything particularly obvious that I can pick him up on. It's just kind of irritating me, and it's bugging me, and it's bugging me that it's kind of playing on my mind a little bit. You know?
I was just wondering if you want me to help you do the ladder exercise on it.
I suppose we could.
You want it?
Yeah, it would probably... Yeah, it tends to help with, like, getting down to what something's really about, I suppose. So, do you want a pen and paper?
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So, what are you feeling?
Annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Confused.
How does annoyed feel on the inside?
I would say it's just annoyed.
Okay. What about confused?
Yeah, that's just confused. But I also feel like he's trying to get one over me somehow. He's trying to get like some power position.
And how does that feel on the inside?
Uncomfortable. And I feel suspicious.
How does uncomfortable feel on the inside?
Yeah, I would just say uncomfortable.
And what about suspicious?
Well, that also feels uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
actually. Yeah.
And how does that feel on the inside?
Again, that's just uncomfortable, I think.
Okay. Any more feelings that you're aware
Yeah,
of?
well, I definitely feel like there's some sort of thing about history, you know, there's something about something that's happened between him and me in the past.
Like, you think he's holding a grudge about the past? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I would say that's about right, yeah.
And how does that feel on the inside when you feel like he's holding a grudge?
Well, it takes me to, I suppose it takes me to the next question, really. What I want is that I just want to know the truth about it.
So if you knew the truth, what would that give you that you value?
Well, then we could resolve it and move on.
So like resolution,
Yeah.
moving on. And what would resolution and moving on give you that you value?
Then I wouldn't be preoccupied with it.
And if you weren't preoccupied, what would that give you that you value?
Just more headspace to actually be given to the project.
And if you had more headspace to give to the project, what would that give you that you value?
More chance of success with it, and more efficiency. There's more... Like we just kind of... I'd be able to flow along with it better, probably.
So more chance of success, more efficiency, and more flow.
Yeah.
What would any of those give you that you value? Like if you had more flow.
Well, really it corresponds to more flow, and more efficiency just leads back to more success. And just more enjoyment really. I'm not enjoying the way that I'm feeling around him at the moment, and yeah.
And if you had more enjoyment, what would that give you that you value?
I think that's just that, just more enjoyment. Actually, I think I want to go on to think about him.
Okay. So what do you think he might be feeling?
A little bit, I'm going to say smug.
Mm-hmm.
And superior.
And how do you imagine smug and or superior feel on the inside?
Like he knows all the answers.
And when you imagine him feeling like he knows all the answers, what do you imagine that feels like on the inside?
Like he's proud of himself.
And how might that feel on the inside?
Well, I suppose he's happy with something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another part to it, obviously, because he's not just sort of being enthusiastic and talking in that way. There's some kind of edge, like some kind of secretiveness, like he's hiding something or something of that sort. So I think that's a different part of what's going on.
And how do you imagine that feels on the inside? Secretiveness and like he's hiding something.
He's hiding something that he's going to present later, especially if he's trying to kind of take charge of the situation or something. Then I'd imagine that feels a bit tense, actually, in some ways, because it's not just straightforward. He's having to kind of play things, in the right way or something. So he might be a bit on edge about it.
And how might tense and on edge feel on the inside?
Just that, kind of tense, on edge. So if I guess, that's got me guessing again about what he maybe wants.
Okay.
We go on to that. I'm thinking that he wants to be the one who's more in control of the way this whole thing is going to go.
Okay. And if he was more in control, what would that give him that he values?
I think he trusts his ability and his team more than me and my team. So it just gives him more trust that he's going to that he's going to look good. I mean, I guess we'll all look good if it goes well, but.
And then if he has more trust that he's going to look good, what would that give him that he values?
Just more of a sense of security, probably, and
like job security, you're thinking?
yeah.
Yeah.
And security, just in terms of how he's viewed, that he'll be seen in a positive light.
Mm-hmm. And if he's seen in a positive light, what would that give him that he values?
I think that just goes back to sort of security and being at ease.
And if he had security and ease, what would that give him that he values?
I think that's just it, yeah. But it did make me think there's another thing. I trust that he wants to also, kind of separate from that, have a sense of doing a good job, like just a satisfaction out of doing it well. What we're trying to do.
And if he had the satisfaction, what would that give him that he values?
I think that's probably an end to itself, really.
Okay.
So that's useful. Let me just think. I want to just do the last bit of, anything that I can do or ask which would somehow be taking all of this into account.
Do you want me to say back to you what?
I can just look over it.
Okay.
I think I need to have a conversation with just him. Outside of these formal meetings that we've got planned with all the other people involved. I think I need to just step aside with him and say, basically ask him, is there anything that he's concerned about with regard to our team on my side? Is there anything that we can do, or any concerns that he has? Just to get a feel for that, really. So I think that's the action that I want to take. Thanks.
You're welcome.